ஓம் அஸ்மத்குருப்யோ நமः. ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானாகிய திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேசதயாபாத்திரம் ஸ்ரீசைலேசதயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதிகுணார்ணவம் யதீந்திரப்ரவணம் வந்தே ரம்யஜாமாதரம் முனிம். लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. मातापिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना. भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. पितामहस्यापि पितामहाय प्राचेतसादेशफलप्रदाय श्रीभाष्यकारोत्तमदेशिकाय श्रीशैलपूर्णाय नमो नमस्तात्. ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे. पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं. वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिं. यः पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम्. गोष्पदीकृतवारासिं मसकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम्. अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीसमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्. आमिषीकृतमार्ताण्डं गोष्पदीकृतसागरं तृणीकृतदशग्रीवम् आञ्जनेयं नमाम्यहम्. मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि. उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धोः सलिलं सलीलं यः शोकवह्निं जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनैव तदाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम्. आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलालनं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं. यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम्. वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसी जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मनः. चरितं रघुनाथस्य शतकोटिप्रविस्तरम् एकैकमक्षरं प्रोक्तं महापातकनाशनं. शृण्वन् रामायणं भक्त्या यः पादं पदमेव वासयाति ब्रह्मणस्थानं ब्रह्मणा पूज्यते सदा. वाल्मीके गिरिसम्भूता रामसागरगामिनी पुनातिभुवनं पुण्यरामायणमहानदी. श्लोकसारसमाकीर्णं सर्गकल्लोलसङ्कुलं काण्डग्राहमहामीनं वन्दे रामायणार्णवम्. यः कर्णाञ्जलिसम्पुटैरहरः सम्यक् पिबत्यादरात् वाल्मीकेर्वदनारविन्दगलितं रामायणाख्यं मधु. जन्मव्याधिजराविपत्तिमरणैरत्यन्तसोपद्रवं संसारं स विहाय गच्छति पुमां विष्णोपदं शाश्वतं. तदुपगतसमाससन्धियोगं सममधुरोपनतार्थवाक्यबद्धं रघुवरचरितं मुनिप्रणीतं दशशिरसश्च वदं निशामयत्वं. श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचरविनाशकरं नमामि. वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम्. अग्रे वाचयति प्रपञ्चनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्. आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। धर्मात्मा सत्यसन्धश्च रामो दासरथिर्यति पौरुषे च प्रतिद्वन्द्वसरैन्नं जहि रावणिं तपस्वाध्यायनिरतं तपस्वी वाग्विदाम्बरं नारदं परिपप्रच्छ वाल्मीकिर्मुनिपुङ्गवम् श्रीरघुनन्दन परब्रह्मणे नमः. So we were doing Sundarakandam, and we stopped right when Hanuma is on the Mahendra Parvatam, ready to do Samudra Langanam and go to Lanka. But we had other classes in between. We couldn't continue that. So starting today, we have 4 sessions perhaps. So we will try to do as much Sundarakandam as possible. And every now and then when we come, we can continue. Okay. So Hanuman is getting ready. The very first shlokam is very, very important. So that's the other reason why we were waiting for everybody to join. But we are like 3 more of us, and then anyways they will be listening later on too. So if you want to say the shloka, is also fine too. So there is storyline on the outside for Sundarakanda, for Ramayana. We are doing, right? There is always the storyline. But here we consider Hanuma as our Acharya. Okay, we consider Hanuma as our Acharya, and then that is the perspective in which we read Sundarakanda. Okay, so the very first shloka, Hanuma is getting ready. He is on the Mahendra Parvatam, and he's put one foot forward and he's put his other foot in the back, and he looks at the sky, and then he is taking a deep breath, and he's holding his deep breath inside, and then has both his hands forward, and then he raised his tail, and then he has shrunk his the middle part of his body, and his ears are just straight, and now he is ready. Okay, what is he ready? He is ready to take off. Okay, like all the takeoff suggestions that like our air hostess give us, right? So for takeoff, so his body is ready. Tato Ravananitayaha Sitaya Satrukharsanah Yesha Padamanveshtum Charana Charite Pati. This is the first shloka. So, deep breath. Tato Ravananitayaha Sitaya Satrukharsanah. Look at the words because we will discuss these words. These words. Sitaya Satrukharsanah. Yesha Padamanveshtum Charana Charite Pati. So this one shloka, they say, is very, very important shloka. First shloka of Sundarakanda. Why is it very important? First is, we all know Gayatri Mantram. 24,000 shlokas in Shri Ramayana. And every 1,000th shloka, first aksharam if you take, it will be Gayatri Mantram. So it is also, Ramayana has deeper meaning of mantra in it. Yeah, now we see Gayatri means we give a female form and we worship as Gayatri Mata. Gayatri is also Chandas. Okay, Gayatri is a certain kind of Chandas, some kind, a grammar. So, this shloka has Na. We all know Gayatri Mantra.
Yeah, yes, that's
right. In Gayatri Mantra, there is Na Aksharam. So this shloka has that Na Akshatra, Na Aksharam. Okay, so like I said, one aksharam from every thousandth shloka, like that. Okay, and they say this shloka, if we read every day, that's why I said breaking it into parts so that you remember it a little bit. If you read it every day, then whatever bandham we are in this karma bandham, they say it'll take us out of the karma bandham. And also there are some, if it's perfect pranayama mantram too, right? So there are certain, they say if you read it properly, correctly, because we are so anglicized in our language, or in influences there. If the aksharams come from the right place, it cures a lot of um, uh, you know issues with the body, like that. Breathing exercise gives really good, really breathing, and so some rogams that we have can be cured. Okay, that's it. And then there is beautiful rahasyam. Rahasyam is what? Rahasyam, I said, is not a secret. Rahasyam is something that needs understanding. Rahasyam is something that we need to
Deeper
pay
meaning.
attention. We need to learn from others. Yes, Sankita ji?
Yeah, I said deeper meaning.
Deeper meaning. Mm. So, what is the deeper meaning is, um, we said Paramatma is Rama, Jivatma is Sita. After taking the permission from Sri Ramachandramurti, Hanuma is set to find this Jiva, Sitama. What is the purpose? He is the Guru. Like I said, right? The Guru's job. What is Guru? What does Acharya do? They're all Jivatmas. What does Guru do? He will give us the path to Acharya, to Perumal, to the Parama Purusha, Rama. Right? So that is the deeper meaning in this. And then they said Sitaya Satrukarsanaha. Sitaya Satrukarsanaha. That beautiful word Satrukarsana is used here. Why? Satrukarsana means one who Karshana is one who diminishes, or one who eliminates Shatrus. Okay, one who eliminates this. And who is that? That is Hanuma. So Hanuma is going to eliminate all those Rakshasas and take care of Sita, right? And right, see, Acharya also has to be a Satru Karshana. Why should Acharya be Satru Karshana? Because Acharya is Guru, right? We said Hanuman is like Acharya. What Shatrus does Acharya fights within us? What kind of what are our Shatrus?
Angry.
Sense organs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, senses, everything. Yeah. 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 So all these things, all the greed, jealous, or we think we are the body, all those feelings. How will we go unless we listen from a guru? They won't go. They are going to be there till we meet an acharya. We will always consider that we are the body and not the atma. Right? So he is the Shatru Karshana. Our biggest Shatru is our identification with our body and not realizing there is an Atma. Who will ever tell us? Like if we know Acharya, we will not know that there is no Atma. I think the greatest, in like everybody says in India, right? Or the idea is to promote India as Vishwaguru. Why Vishwaguru? Because everybody else will tell us that it's about the body. It's about the body. But in India, our acharyas have said there is Jivatma, there is Paramatma. That's why whoever gives the Atma Tattvam is Acharya. right? So that's why we the guru's job is to tell that we are beyond the body. Okay, and that's one thing. So those shatru karshana, those uh, the shatru will be diminished. Okay, and then Hanuma is on his way. He takes off Mahindra. Do you know where Mahindragiri is here now in nowadays? I'll send pictures of that place. I think it's called Tirukkurungudi. Tirukkurungudi. Okay, that it is also a Divya Desam. There's huge green hill called Mahendragiri there. It is on the border of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. One side of the hill is in Tamil Nadu, the other side um, is in uh,
Care.
yeah. And then their Kaisika Ekadashi is celebrated very nicely over there in that temple. Very beautiful temple, very old temple. Um, um, yeah, it's one of the most beautiful places I've seen. Mahendragiri, that's where Sundarakandam. Just going there and just imagining that Hanuma flew from there to um, because he needs a hill, right? He cannot jump off the you can't get off the he needs some from the beach or anywhere. So uh, um,
So, Mataji,
hmm.
so the Ramasetu is near to that place?
Ramasetu is where um, it is nearby only. It's not like really close or anything. It's nearby because they all took the land path, ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take the airborne. They were not airborne. Only Hanuma was airborne. And Jambavan had to remind Hanuma that he was capable to fly. Because rest of them all say I can fly 10 yojanas. The other one says I can fly 20 yojanas. One says I can fly 50 yojanas. And then some says I can fly 100 yojanas but cannot come back. What is the purpose? Then Jambavan reminds Hanuma that he is capable, and so Hanuma comes back. Hanuma can fly and come back. Yeah, everybody else takes that path. Uh, so um, hmm, okay. Then so we go. Then the second shloka. Okay, to do the Shatru Karshana, Hanuman has taken the path to rescue the Jivatma. Now, he is Ramaduta now. His new name is Ramaduta. And now the second shloka. You want to repeat?
Yes.
Dushkaram,
Dusharam,
Dushkaram.
Dushkaram,
Yeah, give nice weight to the mapranas and everything. Dushkaram,
Dushkaram,
Nishpratidvandvam,
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 Chikírshan,
Chikishan,
Karmavanaraha,
Karmanaraha,
Samudagrasiro Grivo,
Samudagravas,
Siro Grivo,
Sugrivo,
Samudagrasiro Grivo,
Samudagravasugrivo,
Gavam Patiriva Babhau.
Gavan Patiriva Babho.
Hmm. दुष्करं निष्प्रते द्वन्द्वं चिकीर्षन् कर्मवानरः समुदग्र शिरोग्रीवो गवां पति रिवा भबौ. Second shloka. Again, very, very important shloka. Hanuma has taken that sankalpam to do the Samudra Langanam, and this is Dushkaram. It is very difficult. Dushkaram means very difficult. Dushkaram. But he has taken this sankalpa to do it. So he raises his neck and then head and then stands on top of that mountain, and he looks like a Vrushabha. What is Vrushabha? Looks like a Vrushabha.
Scorpion.
Bull?
Scorpion.
Bull?
Yeah. 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 Okay. So this shloka is also this, and this first sarga has this word called dushkaram. Okay, this is the first dushkara that comes in the thing. This is the first dushkara that comes, and then if you see shka, shpra, sha, all these words, how Valmiki has written dushkaram, nishprate, dvandvam, chikirsha. He says why, even why I asked you to repeat is you can see how difficult it is to say. So in the poetry, like I said, there is in Ramayanam, poetry is beautiful too. So he wants to say, Valmiki Maharshi wants to say that it is a very difficult task. So he has put it in his words. Later on, there will be a time when all the Vanaras are very happy. Okay, and when you read those shlokas, it will feel like you are also celebrating along with them. Once they get to know that Sita is there, right? They're all very happy. There's a pibanti cha, ramanti cha. He uses all these beautiful words where they're all happy and running. Like you will also feel the joy of the Vanaras reading that poetry. So even if you don't understand just how the words are, if the words come up very difficult to even pronounce, it means there is a difficult task or some and if you there are some words where he uses it feels that they are heavy on heart, right? So by the time even if you are not into it, like not enjoying the scene of it, just by saying those words you will feel the emotion of the that particular scene. Like Ramayanam is written for singing. Sri Ramayana is written for singing. We are reading it because we cannot sing all of this thing. But I'm in a class where I'm learning Ramayanam, sloka by sloka. Some of the kids who are adept in music, I'm not kidding, they're all probably 7 to 10 years old kids. They pick up a shloka and then they want to set a raga to it. If it is happy, they give a certain raga to it. And that they haven't read the shlokas already or not. But I'm so happy to see kids, some of the kids who are singing those set to the tune. Right? It's such a great blessing. I always think they are all Kusalava Amsas in Purva Janma, somewhere, that blessing has come to them, that they are all able to sing it as they read it. Because Ramayanam is not a reading thing, it's learn. Because we cannot do anything, we are finding the essence and trying to follow it. Because we know Ramayana, Rama is Parama Purusha and he is the Purushottama, and we have to follow his footsteps. So we are trying to see if there are what morals to be learned, what ethical situations he had, and how we can make changes in our life so that we see the highest, how to be a good child, how to be a good father, how to be a good husband, how to follow the paramadharma, how Lakshmana followed or Sitama followed. So we are doing that. So yeah. Uh, and then this is 100 yojana for samudram, ocean, and he cannot stop in between. He will be offered later on as we go through the storyline. He will be offered places to stop by, but he wouldn't stop because once you take a task, you cannot stop in between. Okay, and they are also referring to another Sagaram. What is it? The Sagaram we are talking is here Lanka Sagaram. Lanka, right? The Indian Ocean he has to cross. But all of us are in this Samsara Sagaram, right? And crossing this is as difficult too, right? So he becomes Gavampati Iva. What is Gavampati? Gavampati is the Vrushabha. So he looks like that. How does a Vrushabha go? How does a bull go? Even when there is anything that comes in front of it, bull charges. So that is the reason why they are comparing to that of a bull. Okay, and next, wait a second. So there Hanuma is. So what he is doing now, he has increased his body, and then he is facing east, and then he does his salutations to sun god. Sun, he does salutation to sun, and then he does salutation to Indra and Brahma and all other devatas. He does that, and then he bows down to all of them, like he says all the shlokas, and then he takes the leave. You want to say what those shlokas are?
Yes, Mataji.
Huh? Okay, let's see those shlokas. That's also very Sasurya Mahendraya
The Surya Mahendraya
Pavanaya Swayambhuve
Pavanaya
Swayambhuve
Swayambhuve
Bhutebhyaschanjalim
Bhute
Yasyanjalim
Krutva
Krutva
Chakaragamane Matim.
Chakaramane Matim
Matim.
So he does Sasuryaya, Mahendraya, Pavanaya, Swayambhuve. So he does Anjali to all of them. Surya, Mahendra, he does Indra, he does, and then he jumps uh, to go to uh, our Lanka. Okay. Uh, And then he presses on to the mountain, gains a little bit of momentum, and then when he takes off, the entire mountain trembles because of his strength. There are all the birds that, because it's a forest like a huge mountain, all the birds, trees, and saints, whoever were there, all of them, they all get scared because when he takes a lot of momentum, right? It takes a lot of momentum to fly 100 yojanas for a Vanara. So they all get scared and they're all running in all directions. The birds fly away out of fear. Then there are all these poisonous snakes. Those also get scared. They are also going everywhere. And then when the mountain shook, the beauty of the beauty of Valmiki Ramayana, like if you look at the details of what can happen when somebody so huge takes off, what can happen, you will see he's written that all the flowers from the tree have fell off.
Almost like a rocket takeoff, Mataji.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he can just say he took off, but Valmiki didn't stop there. He said when he took off, all of these things are happening, and let's see what else happened. And so when all the flowers fell off, right? The beauty of it, he says this, that mountain appeared like a mountain of flowers. mountain appeared like a mountain of flowers. So unless this has happened, unless somebody has witnessed this, how can you just write it like that? Right? So and then this his leap was so hard, and the momentum was so much that when he took off, it uprooted a lot of huge well-grown trees, and they all fell into the ocean. And when he took off, right, there was also the force with which he took off, it created waves in the ocean. Okay, and the waves were so huge, as if the waves were trying to gulp Hanuma himself. Imagine that for a second. And it's all written so beautifully that they are, see, telling that in English is so difficult, right? Telling that is um, uh, uh, निष्प्रमाण शरीर सन् लिलङ्गयिषु रवर्णवम् बाहुभ्यां पीडयामास चरणाभ्यां च पर्वतं स चचालचापि मुहूर्तं कपिपीडितः तरूणां पुष्पिताग्राणां सर्वं पुष्पमसातयत्. So it looked like like a flower mountain. Tena padapamuktena pushpaugena sugandhina. All the flowers, the nice smelling flowers. Sarvata samrita sailo bhabau pushpamayo yatha. That entire mountain looked like it is a mountain of flowers and fragrant flowers. Imagine the aroma of it. Like you could, when you are reading it, you can feel the aroma of it literally, right? Uh, um, and then how did the what happened to the water? Salilam samprasusrava madam matta iva dvipaha. So when like we are saying, right, the waves also came up, came up, okay, as if they were about to engulf Hanuma himself. Okay, next. Uh, During this flight, how did Hanuma look? Hanuma looked like he looked radiant like the sun, and then his shadow appeared on the water. And then looking at this, that Hanuma is going to go find Sitama, all the celestials, Indra, Varuna, Yaksha, Naga, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, all of them were um, looking from heaven above, and they were all blessing him. Okay, they were all blessing him. Okay, and what do we learn from this? We will do a little bit of life lessons from Sundarakanda. What are two lessons we learned in this bit? One is definitely humility with which Hanuma is so far, right? Because he is Guru. We said he is Acharya. So we have to learn what Acharya is teaching. Acharya doesn't always teach like, 2 plus 2 is 4. He is showing through his behavior something to learn, right? One is he is quiet when he doesn't really say, I can jump, I can take the leap, I can try. He doesn't say that. One, he is being very humble. The second one is what we call as the courage to do it. He has got something called as we use. Have you heard of the word dhruti? Dhruti. He's got the courage of it. So two he has taught us so far. One is courage. The other one is dhruti. Anything else? Anything else you can think of?
confidence also.
Confidence, yeah, definitely. The confidence to do it, and taking it as art, his as taking it as seva. So we use the word Ramaduta, right? Ramaduta, and his prayers before he takes off. For right, so Suryaya, he says the shloka. So the prayers. Okay, don't boast. Let your um, um, ability be guided by elders like Jambavan, right? And then um, have the courage to do it. Along with courage, also need blessings, right? So far he has all of those three in abundance, right? And so he takes off. Any questions so far? Anything to add?
Mataji, when this happened, where was the other people like Ramji and all other people? They were not on
Rama was in
Ramayana.
Kishkinda, right? Rama was in Kishkinda. And Hanuma, so they all, Sugriva sends each of the armies in four directions: east, north,
Yeah, yeah,
south.
yeah. Correct. No, so like I meant to ask who were there the other people gone, like the whole of the army. He was alone.
So Sugriva sends, the army was there only, but he gets on top of this mountain.
So nothing happened to them with when it's so much of shriveling and everything happened to the mountain and all.
Maybe it is far away, Mataji. Like he has to go on top of this mountain, right?
Mm.
They were all still by the ocean.
Mm.
They were all by the ocean, definitely.
He just went up, I
Because
think.
they see Sampati on top of the mountain. And Sampati says, from here I can see Sita is there in Lanka.
Mm.
Yes,
Okay.
he says, I can see Sita in Lanka. So Hanuman goes, like you cannot just take off from wherever you are, right? You need a little bit of elevation to take off for flying, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what. And so, if you are interested, there is something called as Sugriva's Atlas. So when he sends all these army in four different directions, right? The south side is headed by Angada. All of this army comes to south. Jambavan, Hanuma, Gava. So all of them come to the south side. And then at that point, they all think, we cannot go any further. We are all lost. We cannot go to Sugriva. We'll all do Prayapavesam, because Sugriva, anyways, if we go back, he's going to get rid of all of us. So we might as well give our lives here. And then they all start reciting Ramayana. That's when all of this has become mere waste, because Jatayu had to give away his life for Sita. He says all these things. And that's when they hear Jatayu his name, Sampati will be there. Sampati, who was initially planning to kill all of them and eat, because his wings are broken. He hears that, oh, you took the name of my brother Jatayu. What happened? What is the story? And then once they tell the story to Sampati, Sampati says, oh, I have seen this happen. My son told me that I cannot fly, so I can't get my own food. My son was getting it one day, and he happened to narrate all of this. That one man was taking away, one Rakshasa was taking somebody. It could be Sita. And then he says, I can see in his drishti is very high. Sampati can see from a distance everything. So, uh, okay. Mm. And then okay, there we go. Okay, so Hanuman is taking off, and then Yadha Raghuva Nirmukta Sarasvasanam Vikramaha Gache Tadvagamishyami Lankam Ravana Palitam. So, just like how when Rama releases uh, his arrow, similarly, we'll just go over some of the shlokas just to see the beauty of it. Just like how Rama Banam goes, Banam, the arrow goes uninhibited anywhere. Similarly, may I go all the way till there, like Rama Banam. Okay, and then if I cannot see Sita in Lanka, then the same Vegam, the same speed, I'll go to Swargam. That's what Hanuman says. And then if I cannot see Sitama over there, then no worries. Why? Because um, I will, if I cannot find Sita there, I will go tie Ravana. And then um, uh, along with along with Ravana, the entire Lanka I'll bring. Those are his thoughts as he is flying. Anyways, whatever it is, I'll finish all the work and then come back. So these are all his thoughts while he is flying. And then, if possible, I'll take entire Ravana and Lanka, everything along with me back. And then thinking that even he increases a little bit more speed, and then he goes into the sky, um, marching towards Lanka. Okay. Mm. So, then the next shloka. So this sarga is also talking to us about how to do breathing exercises. Okay, breathing yoga we call it, right? Yoga abhyasam, we have to do the pranayamam and everything, right? So in the 37th shloka, रुरोध हृदये प्राणान् ऊर्ध्वं प्रणिहिते क्षणः. So, again, Bhagavatam, if you are reading Bhagavatam, third canto, 28th adhyayam. Third canto, 28th adhyayam. That also talks about, in the initial shlokas itself, if I'm not wrong, I think it's like 12th, 13th, 12th shloka on or something like that. The same saram, the essence is given there also. Okay, what does this says? And then you have to keep your for how to do breathing, okay. Yeah. You have to do Sandhya Vandanam, and then you have to do Yoga Abhyasam, and then there are some Yama Niyamas. Those are all those, the Niyamams, the regulations and everything. So what you have to do is how to do this pranayamam, they say. Okay. So simple exercise. One is you have to keep your shoulders straight first. Okay. And then you have to narrow the middle part of the body. Okay, shoulders straight, narrow the middle part of the body, and then um, uh, all this, how he straightens his ears and then keeps his body straight. So all these things are, first you are controlling your body physically. Okay, you are taking, not controlling, but you are having a little bit of regulation of how your body is going to be. And then pranayamam is very important, right? Pranayamam is important. So you have to focus on the bhrumadhyam. Okay, focus on the nasikagram, they say, right? There you have to focus, and then you have to take a deep breath in and hold, right? They say kumbhakam, rechakam, all these things, right? Right? And then so he says, just how Hanuma is holding on to pushing the mountain with this foot. You have to sit on a nice asanam. They say put a nice asanam. Then they say to put the skin of a deer or something like that for asanam. But you have to put one asanam and sit on it. Okay. So all the yoga angas, like whatever parts of yoga, breathing and then holding onto it and then exhaling, inhaling, holding onto it, exhaling is taught in these shlokas. The inner meaning of how to do your breathing exercise, the pranayamam, the asanam, how the body has to be, all these things are also told in this. Again, deeper meaning. We're not getting into it, but I'm just telling you that this is also something that we can see in this part of the yoga abhyasam is given in this first chapter. Okay. Then he goes in the and we also see in the 57th shloka is where he talks about how that waves are coming and it feels like Hanuman is being engulfed by those waves. Okay, so he's flying, and then guess what happens? First, who comes? Do you know? The sea god. He thinks he must offer hospitality to Hanuman because Hanuman is going on Shri Rama's mission, right? So he says he thinks he wants to give hospitality to Hanuman. And oceans were all developed by who? Sagara. That's why they are all called Sagarams. Sagara. And Sagara belongs to which dynasty? Ikshvaku dynasty. So he is actually the forefather of Rama. And Hanuman is flying on the mission of Sri Rama, who is also part of that Sagara dynasty, right? The Ikshvaku dynasty. So he says he has to help him because Hanuman is going on Rama's mission. So the most important thing was to show him some gratitude for helping Rama. And then he asks the sea god, he asks Mainaka Parvatam. So earlier, all our books, our scriptures say that these mountains used to fly. Okay, and with Indra's the what is it called? I forgot it. So Vajrayudam. Indra's Vajrayudam, those wings were all cut for the mountains. Okay, so since then, because they used to kill a lot of people, imagine mountains flying, right? People will be scared for their life. So there was this one Mainaka Parvatam who was spared. So this Mainaka says, you can take rest. So Mainaka, so sea god says to Mainaka to offer help to Hanuma because middle of the ocean, if a mountain comes, Hanuma can take a little bit of rest, right? Because who helps Mainaka from Indra is Vayudeva. And who is Vayudeva? Father of Hanuma. Right? So there are two people. So always remember this. Some good deed will come into some use some point of time. This is another thing that we can learn from here. Like when was Sagara? So forefathers, what they do, whatever you do, your kids, grandkids benefit. Right? Nobody does for themselves. They do it for their future kids. Another learning for us. Why should I do? Well, a lot of people say, things like every day, whatever aradhana that we have to do. You won't see any results immediately. All of us, even attending sessions like this or learning Bhagavad Gita, Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, or also why is this possible? All because somebody in the family have already read it, and some by some grace, a little bit of it got into our ears, and so eventually we got turned, and then we start learning and reading, right? Instead of getting completely washed up by mundane life, right? So yeah, so um, so he won't. Vayudeva has once helped Mainaka. So Mainaka is now offering his help to Hanuma. See how beautiful this is. Sagara helping Hanuma because he is Ramaduta, right? So Hanuma, and then he says, so this huge peak out of nowhere, this rises in the middle of the ocean. And then he says, Mainaka says, oh Hanuma, you're going somewhere, seems to be you're busy, but come, take some rest. There are nice fruits and flowers that will give you some cool water, and then very nice fragrant flowers. Everything is there, keeps you a little happier. Looks like you're going somewhere. Take a little bit of rest on the mountain and then go further. Okay, that's what they say. And then so he requests Hanuman to stay there for a while, and saying that because they want to do a little bit of kindness, repay their kindness for Ikshvaku Vamsam, right? And then Hanuma understands what Mainaka is telling, that he wants him to stop a little bit. But Hanuma says, I'm sorry, I am on a mission and I need to accomplish that mission. And till that, I will not rest. Till that, I will not rest. And he thinks he cannot waste even a little bit of time, as every minute is very valuable in this journey. Right? If he loses a minute, one more minute will be delayed in finding Sitama. And as he delays finding Sitama, who is on the other end crying for Sita? Rama, and Sita is crying for Rama. Okay? ఒక త్వర ఉంది. Okay? So, this tells us that Hanuma is, what is the quality that we can see in a guru? No stopping, continuing. What is it? On a mission. What is it?
Sankalpa.
Determined.
Single-mindedness.
It's steadfast in his
Dhrudam.
yeah, he's like drushti, like he's having that steadfast sankalpam he took, saying that I will not budge down. I'm going to continue with my mission and not take a break. Okay, so first one we said he has dhruti. Okay, give me 1 second.
Dhruti already.
Okay, so I had to attend something. Okay, so one is the dhruti, where he has the courage, and then this will be his dharana. Jyoti he has dharana. Okay, dharana is the another one, is his steadfastness, his commitment to carry on the mission and not stopping. Okay, and then if you read it, you will also notice that maybe Hanuma started this in the morning, because of how his shadow is reflected. And the shlokas also talk us about how his body is in the shadow, right? So, and then that's another thing they have mentioned. Uh, and so, krute cha pratikartavyamesha dharma sanatanaha. So, this Samudra, he thinks, krute cha pratikartavyamesha dharma sanatanaha. Krute cha pratikartavya. Krute cha pratikartavya. What does it mean? It means your forefathers have helped me, so I have to help you. Or krutecha. Whatever you did, somebody else is returning the favor. Returning the favor. To be very, returning the favor is Esha Dharma Sanatanaha. This is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is what that is there. That's it. There is no date to it. So since we have benefited, we want to help you. That's what Samudra and Mainaka are saying. Krute cha pratikartavya. Krute cha pratikartavya. Okay? And then they say one more beautiful thing. They say, Atiti kila pujarhaha prakrutopi vijanata. Dharmam jignasamanena kim punastadruso mahan. He says, even if it's a normal atidi, a normal atidi kila pujarhaha. Normal guest is also pujarhaha. Okay? And especially you, to honor you is even more special. To honor you is even more special. Why? Because you are Vayudeva's son and equivalent to him in the speed. And if we worship you, ninnu pujiste, if we do puja to you, స్వయం వాయుదేవుడినే పూజించుకున్నంత పుణ్యం. It's equivalent to worshipping Vayudeva himself. And it is my kartavyam to do it. Okay? So Mainaka says all these things. Then he says, Preetosmi. Krutamatidhyam manyureshopaniyataam tvarate karyakalo me ahaschaapyati vartate pratigna cha maya datta nasthatya vyamihantare. So he says, okay, happy. Preetosmi. I'm happy. Krutamatidhyam. You have given me the, you are offered me some rest. But don't be bent on forcing me to stay here. Okay? Manyureshopaniyataam tvarate karyakalome. I'm in a kind of a little bit of a rush. Okay? I'm in a bit of a rush because karyakalome, because the time is going fast. So I have taken a pratigna. Ahaschapyati vartate pratigna chamaya. I have taken a pratigna. So maya dattana statya vimahantare. So he says, please don't stop me in the middle. He says that to Mainaka. Very, very beautiful, right? He says, this is Sanatana Dharma to offer help. And you have helped me. And then Hanuma also says, no, I am on a mission. I have to really go. So please excuse me. How beautifully he has okay. Krutamathityam. Very, very beautiful. And then Manyureshopaniyataam. Manyureshopaniyataam means don't hang on to that. Pattu pattu undaku. Nanu pampichu. Look at the dialogues between both of them. So beautiful, right? So, and then again, why we are reading this? Look at the beauty of it. Preetosmi. Thank you. Happy. He's not telling, I'm very happy, or he's not giving long dialogues here. Look at the brevity of it. Preetosmi. I'm happy. Okay? And then Krutamathityam. Right? Krutamathityam is, you have given me the Athityam. Preetosmi. I'm happy. Manyureshopaniyata. but don't force me. Like, so when you are flying and somebody comes and tries to talk and they're telling you something, how do you answer? So you have to stop to give really long answers. He doesn't want to waste even that time. See the pure beauty of the poetry here. So that is another things. And then this is like okay, sahajamaina, like it's a natural talk between somebody who is in a rush, like in the mornings. So somebody is running, we are running out of our home to get to work or somewhere. And then we say, we try to not do long sentences. We say, it's packed, it's over there. It's packed on table. You won't say, I packed it. What you packed? You won't do it. It's packed on and on table. Give the brevity of the message because you are in a rush. So if you see how beautifully Valmiki has written this conversation between Mainaka and Hanuma. Okay. Yeah. And then another reason is he should not stop. Why he should not stop? Because he also compared, he said, I want to fly like Ramabanam. Ramabanam doesn't stop. When Kakasura, when when Rama puts a Banam on Kakasura, that Banam Kakasura goes to all over the world. But it was this Banam will not stop going behind Kakasura. He goes runs around wanting to take shelter from lot of from lot of devatas, but the Banam is still going behind him. And he finally says, oh, your Banam is not stopping, what can I do? Then he says, okay, your eye will be lost. So Kakasura loses his eye. Okay. Oh, next. So after he crosses this Mainaka, who does he encounter? Do you know?
Tursa.
So he sees this huge glowing a ball like sun. He sees Surasa sees Hanuma, and then Hanuma also by this time he increases his speed and he even rises to higher in the sky. And then everybody wants to the celestials, all the devatas. They want to see how Hanuma. They want to see Hanuma's intellect and they also want to check how he is. So what they do, they ask Surasa. Who is Surasa? She is chief of Nagas. Okay, you know Nagas who live in the ocean, right? They say, and then the Nagas tell her to take a demon-like form and then go and stand in front of Hanuma. See, the devatas are also not easy people. See, sometimes Hanuma is going on a daiva karyam. Why should they stop him? Instead, they go to Nagas and ask Surasa to form hindrance to Hanuma. Because it is Hanuma, he can come across. But if devatas, think of them putting obstacles to people, normal people. But here they want to see Hanuman's intellect, because acharyas also, right? The mark of that person is such a way that they use their intellect in difficult times with their chaturyam, with their charm, with their valor, their intellect. They have to they have to cross a lot of problems, right? So they want to show how capable Hanuman is. Not that they didn't know that Hanuman is not capable, but they just wanted to see what Hanuman would do if Surasa appears like a demon in the middle of nowhere. And so the Surasa takes a Rakshasa Rupam and then stands like a huge mountain in front of Hanuma, and then has huge coral ఏమంటారు? Forgot. Coralu? Not tusk. What are those? Yeah, he has like these two huge coral, and then she opens her mouth as big as the sky, and um, as big as the sky. And then she stops, and then says, and then Surasa tells Hanuma, you know, all the devatas have given me as your aharam, like you like my food. So I'm going to eat you. And he says, you enter my mouth. That's what she tells Hanuma. And then Hanuma is very happy, you know. He smiles basically, and then he says he looks like Srimanta. They say, why does he look like Srimanta? He looks like Srimanta because he is very um, you have to see he's a sadhaka. He's a sadhaka, and whatever problem comes, he is going to overcome that kind of a problem. Okay, and what he does is he folds both his hands and he tells Surasa, Dasaratha Putra Rama and his wife Vaidehi and his brother Lakshmana, they were all in Dandakaranya. And then when they were over there, Ravana comes and then he took away Sita. Okay, so Rama has given me this mission as Ramaduta to go and then help Rama. So you also join me and help that Rama. Okay. And if I cannot, uh, um, you also help me in this mission to help Rama. Otherwise, if I cannot see, if none of this happens, then, otherwise I will go see Sita, I will go see Rama, and then I'll come back and enter your mouth. Okay. So after all of this happens, I will go see Sita, I will go see Ramachandra, and then come back and become your food. He promises even that. But Surasa says, no, there is no way. The Devatas have given me this boon, so you enter my mouth. And she opens her mouth really big. And then he says, okay, that's fine. Open your mouth. And then first she opens her mouth 10 yojanas. So Hanuma becomes mm, Hanuma becomes 20 yojanas. So 10, if she makes her mouth 10 yojanas, he becomes as big. And then 20 yojanas she opens. Then Hanuma becomes 30 yojanas. Then she opens her mouth 40 yojanas. Then Hanuma becomes 50 yojanas. So as big as she tries to open her mouth, Hanuma becomes even bigger. Okay. And then as she opens really big, then what he does is he has this ability to shrink his body too. So he shrinks his body to angushta matram. So only that big, like the size of the tongue. And then he enters her mouth. And when he enters the mouth, he says, "Oh Rakshasi, I have entered your mouth. Namaskaram to you. I have to go see Vaidehi, and then the devatas have given you a boon that I will be your food, and here I am. I entered your mouth. I am your food. So let me go." And so he tries to go away. And then Surasa gets her Swaswarupam, her original form, and she says, "Oh, Hanuma, just go ahead in your Karya Siddhi and then make sure that Rama meets Sitamma." So he says, "Sadhu Sadhu, Besh Besh." So she is very happy. Okay. And Antarikshe Titastriman is one line that's very important in this. Yeah. So those are the 2 episodes today. Okay, we will fly tomorrow a little further. Any questions? So what is the lesson here?
Intellectual.
Huh?
Intellectual.
Intellectual, yeah. Yeah, intellectual. He's very smart there. So Dhruti, Drushti, and intellectual. Intellectual is what? Telivi? What do we call it?
Yeah, maybe only.
Intellect.
Yeah.
Vidwan, Buddhiman.
Vidwan is somebody who is well educated,
It's
like
knowledgeable.
Cleverness. Clever.
uh, clever.
Uh,
The intellect, we can say.
yeah.
Smart. What?
Mati. Mati.
Shatir. Shatir.
Chatur and Mati, he has got good Mati.
Chatur.
Mati. And we can do one more episode if you want. The Simhika also. But Simhika needs a little bit of more explanation. Because some we see that Hanuman doesn't kill, even though she is a Rakshasi trying to be an obstacle. But not all Rakshasas are that fortunate. One gets killed, the other doesn't get killed. Right? So we will have to do a little bit of this thing. Uh, any other questions? Any additions? No. Then we can stop here today and then continue tomorrow. Okay. Hopefully we will get to Lankini part tomorrow. Okay. So I'll just still start around 8:30 as soon as the shlokas are done. Just because we can do a little bit more in these sessions. And as you can see, it is very difficult for me to translate it into English and say. If it is in Telugu, సులభంగా చెప్పడం సులభంగా ఉంటుంది. కార్యదక్షతతోటి వెళ్తున్న హనుమంతుడు అని అన్నాం అనుకోండి, అది ఇంగ్లీష్లోకి చెప్పాలి అని అంటే steadfast in his in his determination. You have to really think, because most of my sessions I do in Telugu. Excuse my say all any mistakes are all mine, but yada sakti yada mati, we will be able to share as much as possible in English. And this is also a good exercise for me so that I can improve on in telling in English. Because what happens is when you want to do a session in English, you will cut down a major part of the story. Why? Because it is very difficult to find words to replace. I'm trying to still put as much as possible the Sanskrit words in it only, or Telugu words replaceables, but still it is difficult to explain it. Like,
That emotion carry
like
చేయాలి.
we were talking about the brevity of Sanskritam, right? You have to అది చెప్పాలి అని అంటే అది సులభంగా తొందరగా వెళ్ళు, నేను ఇప్పుడు త్వరలో ఉన్నాను. How he's like saying it, right? I'm in a rush, like that. Yeah. Saritaji?
No, even emotion కూడా క్యారీ చేయలేం. లాంగ్వేజ్
the emotion doesn't get carried.
ఐ నో, ఈవెన్ వర్డ్స్ అయితే ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేస్తారు, బట్ ఆ ఎమోషన్ ని క్యారీ చేయాలంటే.
And I've read everything in Telugu. All my upanyasams I listen only in Telugu. If I ever read any of the upanyasam, listen to upanyasams in English, it still would make a little bit of and even if there is an English upanyasam, I'll quickly switch it to Tamil or Telugu just because it feels more connected. But it's okay. We will do our best because for me, eventually, Ramayanam is for whatever language you speak. It's for all. And maybe this amount of detail is not there in English translations, right? You will, I haven't come across a Ramayana text that is translated so much into English. So it will be my humble attempt to, learn it in Telugu, read it in Telugu, and try to translate it into English as much. Okay, so please bear with me. But I think in a couple of sessions, I'll get a hang of it and do much better.
Definitely it is your Dhruti, but we are giving courage, you can do it.
Thank you. Ankita ji, please excuse me for all the like, no.
Hey Mataji, I can definitely relate because I have read everything in Hindi throughout, so it's difficult. Like same emotion doesn't come to me also, so I understand your problem. But
Any mother tongue, right? Like if you take your mother tongue, it's pretty easy to say it in that language.
when I listen to
Translating it into English.
I can
And
relate better. Yeah.
bhav bhi to nahi rehta hai na, right?
Yeah. But then when you speak Sanskrit also, I understand because I understand that. So that's
yeah.
for me.
My
It's okay.
Sanskrit is not that good, but I'm also trying to, because many of these things are because we've read and listened to it multiple times. It just comes to me like that.
Yeah.
I haven't memorized all the lines or anything, but I know parts of all the shlokas because you have heard it so many times, so it just comes to you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your efforts.
सम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् मङ्गलं कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणाप्तये चक्रवर्तितनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलं वेदवेदान्तवेद्याय मेघश्यामलमूर्तये पुंसां मोहनरूपाय पुण्यश्लोकाय मङ्गलं मङ्गलाशासनपरैर्मदाचार्य पुरोगमे सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यै सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम् ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु हरे कृष्ण
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.